What's up, guys? It's our wrestling podcast coming back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Just a Total Package, and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic: both sides of the story, Vader versus Orndorff. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and for video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel. And look to your left for several other video options that Jess has supplied to you. And please give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019. Gosh, I have no idea what we're talking about. There was a thing between Vader and Orndorff. I don't know. Did they wrestle? Did they? What happened?
I considered making this like a wrestling gets real kind of extension. But I decided to make a new topic about this because it's easy to say when wrestling gets real, and everyone does that, and there's tons of wrestling gets real clips everywhere, and we've done a lot of them. I think it's our most.
They copied us, Jess.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, it's just easy to say, oh, these two fought, and this was real, and that's it. And then, but I'm like, well, wait a minute. I think there are two sides to every story. Unfortunately, we're living through a current hell where there's always two sides being told, and then we have to kind of try to figure out fucking heads or tails out of all this madness. So I was like, wait a minute. There's shoot interviews with both Orndorff and Vader, and this is just the first of many from this series. We can do Brett and Sean. We could do a bunch of other backstage altercations where now we have shoot interviews from both of them telling their version of the story. I've heard Shivani tell this story. I've heard Bischoff tell this story. And the interesting thing that I really gravitated to when I was like, I think I want to do this as a topic is most people can only account, other than the two that were involved in it, most people can only account the pull apart, right? So when they come in the room, when they hear the scuffle start, they all dart in, and then they pull them apart, and they just tell the story of, this is what we saw when we pulled them apart, so this must have been the same way the whole time. When really, no. And I will prove to you guys in these videos that both these stories are the same, but they're different. Like, so I'm doing it in three parts.
Interesting.
I'm doing what led up to, so the whole scenario was this. Long story short, Vader was called when he wasn't scheduled to do a bunch of promos. Orndorff was like kind of like a road agent / producer for WCW back here in 1995. Orndorff was already in the studio doing vignettes with a bunch of other wrestlers, producing segments, blah, blah, blah. And he's basically herding the cattle is what he's doing. Bischoff calls Vader last minute and just says, I fucked up. Like, you need to go to this, what they're doing today. And he's like, dude, I just got off traveling. I just did all these things, whatever. I toured here, I toured there. I'm fucking tired. And he's like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. We need you there because you're cutting the promos, like leading into, whatever. I think he was currently feuding with Hogan or whatever at the time. And so he's like, Bischoff's like, you need to go do this. This is super important. You have to go do these promos. So he's pissed and grumpy. And then the story will go from there. So I captured three videos. One was Vader's account of what happened, basically paraphrasing what I just told you guys, because Orndorff is already in the job. He's already at the building doing it. So Orndorff doesn't really have this is what happened leading up. Orndorff was just in the thick of it, already producing videos. Vader has the story to tell how he got there. And I think it's important to learn the context of Vader's mood, his disposition, as he got this call, as he did. Then you have both their accounts of Orndorff's side of the story, this is what happened, and Vader's side of the story. You're going to see a lot of similarities in their story, and then you're going to see a different way that they both tell the same thing, if that makes sense. And then I want us to kind of decipher, whose fault was it? And fuck Shivani's account of it, because Shivani was only there during the pull apart. I think Bischoff was there as well. Maybe not. I think Bischoff told the story of when he heard from it, but I didn't get any of that bullshit. I didn't get anybody else who was in there. There's been several shoot interviews of people who were in there I was there. I'm like, you were there during the pull apart. You don't really know what happened. But you will learn that both wrestlers really tell who threw the first punch, and they both agree on who threw the first punch, and then we can go from there. So I have three videos. Dave, I gave you some notes. We have
I'll lead into it. So Vader arrived, as you had said, he late to the taping of a photo shoot that, according to Vader, had been approved by WCW management. Probably didn't know he was late. He got called in very last minute to do it. Orndorff was working in the mix of it as a road agent and helping run the show. He confronted Vader and said, "You're fucking late, dude. This is not cool." And that argument quickly escalated. By most accounts, Vader struck first. He slapped the shit out of Orndorff several times and was knocking him down. And then Orndorff got back up, and the fight turned into a legitimate brawl. Multiple witnesses later claimed Orndorff got the better of the much larger Vader, leaving him bloodied. I think I thought I heard accounts of him hitting a bleacher and hitting the back of his head, and Vader got kind of dazed, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
No, you are confusing what happened. That did happen, but but you're confusing. You'll see. Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
I love it.
I already feel vindicated by making this series because this is gonna fucking.
I love it.
I'm taking it to a judge.
I love it.
This shit's gonna go to trial.
Let's do it. Take it to a judge. Let's see.
Fucking shit's going to trial. Fuck Undertaker and his wrestlers court. It's fucking O.W.P court right here. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen here.
Dun, dun, dun. That's what you should be doing. Dun, 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 dun.
All right, I got Vader up. You see Leon. Let me know if you guys can hear this, right?
I need to speak up. I never have. Really.
Okay. Let me go back to the beginning. Okay, this is Vader. This is Vader leading up to the end.
I need to speak out because I never have, really. This is the honest to God's truth, so help me God. This Eric Bischoff called me at 8 in the morning at the Marriott and said, Leon, you have promised me pictures for a photo shoot for weeks. You got to do them today or you're fired. And he says, I'm not kidding. So, hey, you get up and you go. 4-hour photo shoot, and grueling, it's exhausting. And, where you had to go in your street clothes and then, put your hot stuff on, get all pumped up, put your uniform on, and then start posing, right? And then, well, that photo doesn't look good, let's do it again. That photo doesn't look good, So it just became grueling. And I had told Eric, please call over and tell someone that I'm going to be late because I'm doing this. And of course he didn't do it. I just did a photo shoot. I had my bag and I went into the room and sat down. I just did that traffic from the Atlanta Towers over to the CNN Center.
Yeah.
And so you're going to sit down, right? So I sat down. He came in and said, you're fucking late. Why are you late? And I was trying to explain to him, I said, Paul, politely, Paul, didn't someone tell you? I'm fucking doing this photo shoot. And didn't Eric tell you? And he said no and told me a fucking thing. I said, well, that doesn't give you a reason to fucking mistreat me. So then I said, if that's not good enough for you, you can go fuck yourself because I've had it. This is, I'm not getting cussed out by you. You're not my boss. And he thought he was. And you know what? I had been told specifically that during that period of time, Dusty Rhodes was my boss, period. And Eric Bischoff, those two. Other than that, no one is above you. Those two guys. Yeah. And I think Sting had the same arrangement. Hogan had, well, maybe even a different arrangement. Maybe Eric Bischoff couldn't tell him what to do. But
Okay, so that was the lead up. So Vader's kind of telling you the story. I didn't play that for you guys to judge that. I just played that so you could see because Orndorff was already at the venue. So he didn't have a story leading up. So Vader did a multiple hour photo shoot where again, it's exhausting. He's pumping up. He's okay. They're taking it. And then he's like, oh, I'm done for the day. I get to go chill. And then Bischoff calls and says, I fucked up. You have promos that you have to go. So then he's got to get in a car and drive, fight more traffic and do another promo shoot at this point. He did a photo shoot. Now he's got to go do promos. And then he gets there and he's claiming that Orndorff was already grumpy. And he was like...
Was that also alluding that they were in different places? The photo shoot to the...
Yes. Vader was by himself.
It wasn't like he left and came back. He
correct.
Was in a different place from the game.
Yeah, he was at a different place doing photo shoots to my understanding of that clip. And then he went back to his hotel, thought he could unwind. Bischoff calls him, I fucked up. You need to go down to the center and do the promos then there. He's like, well, dude, fuck Eric. I just got down. I'm not going to be able to do it. No, you have to do it or to Vader's or you're fired. I don't think Bischoff said that. I think Bischoff just said look, again, so you could already see that maybe Vader's embellishing a little bit because I'm just look, I don't think Bischoff called and you just said you're fired. If you don't go, I think that's silly talk.
He fired Stone Cold over a fax.
Oh, well, you know what? Actually, fucking great point. So maybe I'm wrong on that or whatever. But yeah, so that's the lead up.
And then another point I think is Vader said Bischoff, so you'll tell Orndorff I'm going to be late. And Bischoff was supposed to explain why he was going to be late because he did the photo shoot all morning, and now he's supposed to do promos.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So he's already irritated, or whatever, and then Bischoff's just yeah, I'll tell him that the reason why you're late. So Orndorff only knew that he was scheduled. They didn't realize that he kind of got double booked, Vader. And then Bischoff called him panicking, going, fuck,
he's literally double booked.
Yeah, right? I accidentally double booked you. You need to fucking book it down to the CNN Center and fucking go take care of it. So Orndorff just thinks that Vader's late. at this point,
Right.
to my understanding.
Here we-
So
and
of
here
course
we go.
Orndorff's probably a little hot or whatever. So I'm going to play Orndorff's side of the story. That was the lead up from Vader, because I think Vader deserves that story because he was somewhere else physically and then got the call from Bischoff. And now we're
Fair.
here in the building, and now Orndorff is going to tell what happened with the altercation when Vader gets in. So I'm going to play that right now. This is Orndorff's version of the altercation.
And one thing led to another. I mean, it got hotter and hotter and hotter. And then he sucker punched me. Because, I was with the office. And if I would have ever thrown the first punch, I'd been fired.
Right.
And that quick. And I got up, and if the right one don't get you, the left one will. And I defended myself, and I don't know if you ever seen somebody knocked out on their feet. Have you ever seen them stumble around and finally go down? That's how he went. And I kicked him in the face about 5-6 times. And then if I could have got a hold of a club or something else, I'm glad I didn't, but I would have killed him. Don't do that. That was wrong. He was wrong. And it cost him a lot of money. I could have sued him. And that's how it happened. Then we got into it again, and I took a couple shots. But I worked that night. He had to go to the hospital.
What was the vibe in the locker?
That's
Did
Orndorff.
he say he worked that night?
Yeah,
Just-
like
he
as in
worked
like
that
he
night?
as in he didn't get fired. He didn't wrestle because he was past his wrestling prime at
Understood.
that point. But he produced that night, and Vader had to go to the hospital, so he didn't work that night. That's basically what he was doing.
That seems pretty shitty to say on its face.
Eh,
I mean, what?
Rest in peace, Paul Orndorff. Okay, so that's Orndorff's side of it. Here's Vader's side of what happened after he got to the building here. And this is important. So you remember what Orndorff said.
Yes.
I've already pre-listed these clips, obviously, so I've already formed my own opinion. But here we go. Now I'm going to get this up here. I can edit all this out. It's the beauty of what I do.
He turned around and walked out, and Terry Taylor comes in and gets me, Leon, regardless of where you were or what, we got to do some interviews. So I got my mask, took my shirt off, got my rubber hose so I could pump up, and I'm running to do the interviews. And Paul steps in and blocks me from going to the interviews. And he called me everything in a book and threatened me to my face to face. So I slapped him. I thought that was a threat to my well-being and my safety. Hey, you're going to tell me you're going to beat the hell out of me? Well, I'm going to defend myself. So I slapped him. His feet came off the ground, and he hit his back hit the cement, and his head just missed this steel toolbox where we'd put the tools to put the ring together. Right. I thought, my God, if his head hit that, I'm done. Don't matter why I'm late. If his head hits that and he's hurt, I'm fired and probably go to jail. And so I went over and put my hand on his chest. Paul, are you okay? And he was coming to, because he hit the ground hard. I slapped the shit out of him. So Paul's got a right arm about the size of this wrist all the way up, and he's 200 pounds. He's really in bad shape, physically. He's not the Paul Orndorff that you would, that 260, 270 pound guy. He's like 200 pounds, 215. And so when he gets up and I'm thinking, you know what, if I fight him back and do what I think I should do to defend myself, I'm going to get fired at the very least, and maybe I'm going to hurt him, because he's just, so I thought I had slapped him initially, so I wanted to get that back, so I let him hit me in the face, and it was nothing. It was that weak right hand. And he hit me a second time, hit me a third time. I drug him down with me. And Paul, some of the wrestlers helped Paul up, and he kicked me once or twice before I got up. I remember that, and I got up and grabbed him, and we went into the coach's room, fighting like a wrestling type fight. But that was it. He had boots on. And I don't know why that matters, but I guess if you're barefoot and slippers on, it's harder to fight somebody, right? But it was, I'm late, so what's he doing with slippers on? He's an agent. He's got his boots on. And then the next day, how Paul had beat me up. And what they're seeing is those 3 hits to the face. And it was like, It was like my 12-year-old son hitting me in the face. My role was to be the bad guy, beat everyone up.
Yeah.
So everyone that I wrestled.
Oh man.
So they both
That's
admitted.
interesting.
They both admitted that Vader hit him first, which is what I got out of that. I was like, okay, so Vader was wrong. It doesn't matter if somebody threatens you. We all know. Again, I hate to keep referencing today's day and age that like you can't just assault people. It doesn't matter if they say something that. It doesn't matter if they say something that hurts your feelings or whatever. You can't just assault people. And if you do, you should expect to be disciplined. So Vader hit him first. They both admitted that in their stories, but then on top of all that, their stories were kind of very different, like in a way. It's like the way Orndorff told it was just like, oh, Vader was out on his feet, and Vader's like, I slapped him so hard he fell down, and I had to revive him basically to get him back up to his feet, and then he hit me. So it's like Orndorff gapped out. So maybe Orndorff really was unconscious because like he's like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna watch anymore. Vader took a cheap shot on me. And then I hit him 3 times. That's Orndorff's story, basically.
Let me ask you a question, Jess. If Vader slaps you in the face, are you going to get any licks in for a few minutes?
No, especially if he paws you. Now, again, I'm not.
Oh damn! Yeah,
he just 450. He's mauled him like a bear, and it's like so. Right. And the way Vader kind of explained like his thought process, like this is an older man, like he's not in good shape, like and Orndorff always like stayed kind of cut, but he was probably Vader's right. He was probably like 215 pounds at the time, and not
Vader's not a fighter or a brawler. He was a wrestler. It's not the same thing.
Well, he had an atrophied right arm too.
Yeah,
Orndorff had
Heenan also tells a story too, and I don't know if Heenan was there or not, but also Heenan tells a story like, an old man whipped this big bear in flip flops, and that was the whole thing. Where I think Vader, it was cut up this interview, but I think Vader was saying like, no,
that was my question.
Like he was in boots. Like what? Why do you think he would be in slippers? Like that makes no sense. Yeah. But I'm like, well, yeah. If Orndorff didn't want to wear shoes, I don't think anyone's going to say like you need to dress in a suit and tie for promos.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like,
if you're a producer,
If why would Vader lie? No, he's wearing boots. Why would he? Why would if he's lying about boots?
Vader didn't say anything about needing to go to the hospital or anything like that afterwards, or he even really. I think he did say they both also admitted that he kicked him because Vader's like, I think he kicked me a little bit, like like when I was trying.
He said he kicked me a few times, and then I got up and we wrestled into the next room.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't want to jump in too much, but I don't have more, and I apologize, but I'm telling you, like. Again, I also think to your point that Vader was wrong. He should have hit him first. I can understand the why, but I can't condone it if that makes sense. I understand where he's coming from, but you can't do that. That being said, Vader slapped the shit out of an old Paul Orndorff, and Vader went through that his entire life. Imagine what Andre did. Andre was lucky because it was 30 years before, but I guarantee you, those guys don't get the benefit of the doubt. So Vader sat back and said, if I fuck him up more, it's going to be really bad for me. And then, Orndorff got some licks in. It sounds legit to me. I think Orndorff is a little man at that moment that's embellishing. But he definitely got hit first.
And I think the people that did the pull apart, which is my whole point of this video, is like they just saw the pull apart and then Vader trying to get up and Orndorff kicking him as people were trying to break them up. And everyone's like, oh man, Orndorff knocked him down, which Orndorff never even talked about the second scuffle. Vader said, we just... Like, I realized that I didn't want to hurt him, so I just tried to engage him in wrestling and grappling, like to take him down and maybe get it. So then everyone rushes in. They see both of them down on the ground, thinking Orndorff must have knocked Vader down. And then they get up, and then Orndorff kicks him, and everyone's like, oh, dude, Orndorff fucked him up, And I think that's kind of like, again, I wanted to do this series, and I played the videos. You guys saw both the people who were involved, not people that kind of came in during the pull apart, like the Bischoffs and the Heenans and the Shawani. This is from the two guys that were in on it, like together, like so.
Because what we know, and I'm glad you didn't filter in all the bullshit, because it would have made it even more conflicted and confusing. Is like, people like Bullet Bob Armstrong that said he was bleeding all over the place. Did he go to the hospital? Was he wearing flip flops or boots? These are all big things. And Bobby Heenan, what you said earlier, was made to look like everything that came through the public perception was Vader got his ass kicked.
Yeah,
but the fact of that, and you can see the carny in both these guys. So Orndorff was just like, I would have killed him. I would take
I
a
don't.
club. I'm saying you
I
do
don't.
that.
I see the Carney in Orndorff. I don't see the Carney in Vader.
And I do believe that
'cause
Vader was kind of a bully. He was known for being in a bad mood a lot. And so I think the consensus was we all like Orndorff. So everybody who heard the story is like, Vader deserved it.
Sure.
He was a grumpy bully bitch. And like, so I'm not saying Vader didn't. And both stories confirmed two things that we know. Vader threw the first punch, or paw, whatever you want to say. And the kicks did happen. When Vader was down, Orndorff kicked him. Those two things, both guys like said. So you know that. But if you're deciphering this, Vader threw the first punch.
Vader did downplay. Vader did. He was kind of downplaying Orndorff's rights. That was the Carney side of Vader. Was like, he'd hit me like my 12-year-old would have hit me. And Orndorff was still. I mean, he's a wrestler despite an atrophied right arm. I believe he is still like a legit tough guy.
Yeah,
but we'll go to like
Vader
the
was
judgments
actually
and stuff
in
later.
1995. Vader was a little heavier than he was in 92, 93. Vader was fighting injuries. He had probably gained another 50, 60 of unhealthy pounds. Like by that point,
Okay, all that's true, Craig. To your point though, like Orndorff has trimmed down to 200, 215. Vader's at 450. Here's what hurts: a 450-pound right hand slap to your face.
Yeah,
he
paws you like a fucking bear. You're gonna hurt.
You're gonna fucking die if Vader continues that momentum on you. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the thing that no one understands about
you're
Vader,
right. If Vader would have pawed him once and then kept advancing, Orndorff would have fell on his ass from the sheer size of a Vader mauling you as he's walking forward towards you. And then, Vader could have just gotten on top of him and just started mauling the shit out of him and beating him. I believe that. I believe that Vader was more than capable of just falling on him and just beating the shit out of him. Like, for sure. Like, I don't think...
I 100% believe...
Yeah. Go ahead.
I 100% believe that the second Vader threw a huge slap, his mind went, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
He is my boss, my producer. I'm fucked. And I need to stop this right now.
Because then it was just Vader's had to think past that all his life and go, what happens if I kill somebody? What happens if I maul somebody so bad? Yeah. What's going to happen to me in the public arena? This could already
get bad. This could already be bad. Even just from hitting him and being the first one.
Vader's had to think about this his entire life. I'm sure somebody like Earthquake has had to think about this entire life. Like, those are legit fucking people that could hurt you.
Yeah. I mean, and he lost his job from this, and he lost his aura too. So he lost the PR battle, and he lost his job at WCW. That was probably after.
And then you had the whole locker room who was on Orndorff's side, retelling the story over and over again. Vader just got knocked the fuck out. Like that's legitly, that's how it all went down.
It's all just part of Orndorff's lore. It's like he fucking beat him in flip flops, dude.
Dude, Vader went through a match, and Jess, you can tell me the opponent because I could see him, but
Stan Hansen. The Stan Hansen in the eye.
He gets his fucking retina detached. His fucking eyeball is almost hanging out of his head, and he continues the match. Like, you can't question the grit of a fucking Van Vader. You just can't. You can't question the ability to take pain and continue.
He was a Super Bowl champ too with the Rams, right?
Just for the sake of entertainment, Van Vader is legitimate fucking tough guy. It's not even, and I'm not saying that Orndorff is not in that same kind of fold, but Orndorff is 10 years past. Orndorff is atrophied.
Yeah.
Orndorff is half the weight of Vader at this point. I'm not trying to say that Orndorff is wimpy.
And they weren't, and to your point, it's not like this is a pre-planned fight that takes place in a boxing ring where Orndorff can run and jab and do finesse or whatever. They're in a locker room, right? Where they didn't really anticipate 10 minutes before a physical altercation. Vader pauses him, and then it's on, right? And they're in this locker room scenario. It's not like, to Dave's point, it's not like... Orndorff could not implement like the rope-a-dope or the run-in hit. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Vader. It's not like Orndorff had time to be like, well, I'm gonna use the space. I'm gonna get away from him. I'm gonna stick him. No, this is like you're fucking late. You don't fucking disrespect me, paw. And it's just fucking.
Just could you imagine? Can you imagine Mike Tyson in your hallway and you can't leave your hallway?
Yeah,
you're
right.
Fucking dead.
Yeah, you're done.
You're fucking dead. Like all I'm saying is like. I really feel for Vader in this situation, and I know that's a weird position to take because I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is about. This is Vader's stance, in my opinion. I think Sid Justice, Sid Vicious had the same kind of ploy of it. all they wanted to do was work. They didn't care about the fucking politics of it. They didn't care about the fucking nature of the kayfabe through the back. They just wanted to work. And I would argue someone like Vader and Sid would get taken advantage of on a regular basis. And this was no different. The fact that Bischoff probably didn't even fucking bother to make a phone call because in his mind it didn't matter. And it led to this big fucking bullshit horrendous. Like, I blame Bischoff for it. I blame WCW for this whole thing. I blame them for wrecking where Vader could have been really fucking like he was on a run. And they had to get rid of him because they couldn't fucking.
Well, I mean, Hogan did a really good job at neutering Vader. Unfortunately,
100% right. That's another issue.
They were to your point, Dave. Actually, so like they were actually turning Vader face here.
Yeah,
because after he loses to Hulk, like on the first Nitro, they was going to be, and at that War Games, it wasn't going to be Luger. They got Luger as a coup. Vader was supposed to be in the War Games, but when Vader left, and then Bischoff at the same time realized I got Luger, I'm going to insert Luger in. So that second Nitro ever, it wasn't supposed to be Hulk versus Luger. It was supposed to be Vader and Hogan. So they were going to do the very first Nitro ever.
They had plans.
Yeah, Vader was going to come down and challenge him, and then somehow the match was going to end where Hulk's like, look, man, we need a fucking partner. And like, are you going to be our partner or not? And then Vader was going to be like, yes, like, I'll be your partner. And that was the whole, they were going to turn Vader face. I don't know how that would have worked, but like, they were going to turn Vader face. That was the plan. And then all this happened, fired. Like,
and honestly,
which is funny because not to cut you off, Craig, but Vader's whole thing was like, once I pot him, I was like, I got to stop or I'm going to get fired. I'm like, you're already fired. You should just beat the shit out of him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and saved your image. Can you imagine him going to WWF with that thing of he just mauled Paul Orndorff in the back room? Like, maybe that wouldn't have been good political wise. Like, they still would have neutered him in WWF, being like, Pat Patterson going, don't you try to attack me, not me back here.
Well, yeah.
Oh, no.
What say, Greg? Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no one's really talking about the job of a producer backstage is actually to talk down the talent and to take care of the talent. So
and to
get
calm
in
them
here.
down.
So it was the line. How much did he get in Vader's face, and how much did he read him the riot act? Because verbally and reading the riot act's one thing, but it's saying something. I'm going to beat your ass, and it obviously pissed off Vader enough to where it felt to slap him.
Being late's not wonderful.
Is Vader just a bully where he's like, no one talks to me like that? Slap.
Yeah.
I mean, Vader lost this battle anyway. We talked about it.
Did.
We lost his job, lost his aura. But like, what part was Orndorff's in this too? Despite how grouchy Vader was, like, there's a lot that went wrong.
Yeah,
and I think
you're
we all
right,
agree
Craig.
that
That's
Vader
a good point. Like,
him.
Vader hitting him first is not right, and then also Vader was probably a dick. But you're right. Most agents are taught to de-escalate, like a police officer in a way. Like you're supposed to de-escalate, but instead Orndorff's like, "You're fucking late. I'm wonderful," and Vader's like, "Dude, you don't feel pain." And like, I just imagine them cutting promos.
It's also really interesting.
They're just cutting wrestling promos on each other.
Well, when you think about it, like, it's if it's true that he talked to Terry Taylor and Terry's like, hey, you still have to do this, and Vader's trying to get
Terry's just a big
bitch.
He's like, I'm Vader. I'm not trying to start nothing.
And then Orndorff walks up and says, "Fuck you, you're not going in there." What the fuck? Why? Yeah. I'm fucking here, bro. That's what makes. I guess that's the part that no one wants to talk about for me. Like, he showed up.
Yeah, and Orndorff did not talk about the two altercations that. He came out there, they verbally got into it first, then he leaves the room, and then Terry comes in and goes, cock-a-doodle-doo! And then Vader's like, I don't like roosters, and then he leaves, and then Orndorff comes back, and that's when they go at it. So it was stretched out a little bit, like there was irritation in the beginning. Orndorff's story is like, no, let me ask
you a question, Jess or Craig. If someone came to you in the workspace and got in your face for whatever reason, and you're trying to explain yourself, they walk away. Right? Okay, cool. We're done. And then someone says, "Hey, buddy, we still got to get this done." I know it.
Come on, Jess, shake it off, Jess. Like he didn't mean it. Yeah.
And then you walk in, and then they block where you're trying to go and try to fucking threaten you again. What are you supposed to do there?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he should have hit him, but I'm saying, like, I understand. Like.
And by the way, we're talking about this all in the context of the carny world of pro wrestling. So Vader hit him first as far as like the law is concerned. Like, he's wrong.
By the law. Yeah. But here's the other thing, Jess. He didn't hit him. He slapped him.
Yeah, he slapped him.
But when Vader slaps you, it's like a fucking mountain hitting you on the fucking side of the cheek. He slapped him. And then he realized, like, I shouldn't slap too much.
And then Orndorff dressed it down as he took a cheap shot. So when he said he took a cheap shot, he left out the fact that it knocked me down. And I was dazed for a minute, and then Vader told the story of like I slapped him hard, like I pawed him, and then he went down, and then I was like, "What the fuck have I done?" Like this is an agent. Whereas Orndorff's story is like he took a cheap shot, cutting out all the stuff of he hit me, I fell off my feet because I'm fucking 200 pounds.
That part doesn't work for him.
Yeah,
it doesn't
that's
work for his
you know
story.
what? Fuck. I'm sorry, Orndorff. We're gonna have to let you go, bro. Like that's fucking. There we go. That's what this episode should be about. To be fair.
Guilty, Paul Orndorff.
Actually, Davis.
guilty.
I wasn't saying. I was saying Vader was wrong from the start by hitting him. You shouldn't have done
Well, he's
it.
wrong for hitting him first, Jess. That's not that you can't.
But,
that's not.
but you're right, Dave. Like the way Orndorff tells his story is completely like, he pawed me and knocked me down because I was an old man and fucking 200 pounds at the time. But then when I got up, I hit him 3 times and kicked him. But then he left out all the things. I hit him 3 times. It didn't really hurt him. He was more contemplating of I'm gonna fucking get fired. And then when they wrestle to the ground, everyone's pulling them apart. As Vader's being restrained, and by the way, being injured and 450 pounds on the ground, trying to scramble to get up is not easy. And as he's scrambling to get up and get his bearing, he gets kicked multiple times in the face.
And by the way, who's better at kayfabe and running promos? Do you think it's Orndorff or do you think it's Vader? And then when you put that into the formula, who do you think's telling the truth right now in those 2 scenes? I think it's Vader because Vader can't cut a promo like that. Orndorff can.
Yeah. Oh, talk to
Orndorff always could. Yeah.
Patterson. Oh, Vader came to me when we hired him, and I told him.
But again,
I told him I will fuck you up. Don't do that to me.
Again, you write the police report, Jess.
I
we know who's at fault.
I kicked him 3 times, and I was mad. That's my Patterson. If that happened in WWE.
And then the Royal Rumble came in my head, and I told him.
Oh, he came and he cheap shotted me, and I got up, and I just, if the left doesn't get you, the right one will. I swear to God. That's Pat Patterson.
That's all I'm saying. It's like I don't think there's any kind of people's court that can tell us who's at fault if you put it on paper.
I don't know what the point of this episode is, but I love it, and I just think that I did a genius thing right now by making this episode. And,
you did.
We're
gonna rule. I think we should make a rule. Yeah, you know what? Yes, Vader did hit him first. That's not okay. If you follow the letter of the law, Vader and a cop saw that, Vader would go to jail because he struck someone first. But honestly, I'm sorry, Orndorff. Rest in peace. They're both passed away, unfortunately. But Orndorff, you're incorrect, Orndorff. We're gonna stamp this episode as Orndorff is incorrect. Vader should have been treated better. Thank you. This is the O.W.P. Wrestle Court.
The O.W. We're gonna have a whole new intro. This is the O.W.P. Wrestle Court. Dun dun. Yeah, 100%.
Fuck. I wish I would have made multiple episodes. This is fun. I want to keep going, but okay, this is just the first of many. So I'm.
I think we're gonna. For video, check us out on YouTube at our wrestling channel, and look to your left for several other options. And please give us a follow on Instagram at OWP2019 for Jess, Craig, and myself. This is the O.W.P. People's Court. The O.W. People's Court. I'm gonna change it up. Signing off. Have a good one.